Nia had always been a devoted and caring wife to Tund. Their marriage, though filled with challenges, was built on faith and determination. For 3 long years, they battled financial struggles together, clinging to the hope that someday life would turn around. Then, one significant day, Tund received an invite to a prestigious business meeting. He had always been a go-getter, and this looked like the big break they had dreamed of. That morning, Nia kissed him goodbye, wishing him luck, never knowing that life as she knew it was about to unravel. Days passed, and Nia waited anxiously for her husband to return, but he never came back. At first, she assumed he was swamped with work. She called several times, but he never picked up. Her texts went unanswered. Her chest tightened with worry. What was happening? Then came the gut-wrenching news. A mutual friend informed her that Tund was seen at a high-end hotel in the city. Dazed and desperate, Nia rushed over. The moment she stepped inside, her heart thundered in her chest. She scanned the lobby, and there he was. Tund stood confidently in the middle of the lavish lounge, clad in designer clothes, looking transformed, wealthier, more self-assured. But he wasn't alone. A breathtaking young woman clung to his arm possessively. Nia's breath hitched. She stormed toward them, her voice trembling. Tund, what's going on? I've been calling for days. Did you get the deal? And who is she? Before Tund could speak, the woman snorted. I'm Lola, Tund's wife now. He doesn't deal with overweight women like you anymore. Nia froze. Did you just call me a pig? She whispered, her voice cracked with pain. She turned to Tund, searching his eyes for remorse, but found none. Nia, Tund said coolly, don't look for me again. We're done. Her world shattered. I'll send you some money. My lawyer will bring divorce papers. Just sign them. Tears welled up in Nia's eyes. So you don't love me anymore, just because you're rich now? Because I'm fat. Tund looked away. Instead, he turned to Lola, pulled her closer, and kissed her. Nia felt her heart splinter. Just then, a man passing by stopped and stared at her. Excuse me, are you Nia? Still stunned, she turned to face him. She studied his features, then gasped. Oh my God. Kola. It was her childhood neighbor, the boy she used to walk to school with. Only now he was grown, successful, and confident. It's been forever, Nia, Kola said warmly. I've missed you. Tears spilled down Nia's cheeks. I missed you too, Kola. Kola's smile faded as he looked over at Tund and Lola. I saw what just happened. Is that your husband? Nia sniffled. He was. Until now. He called me fat and left me. After everything we've been through. Kola's eyes darkened. Interesting, he muttered. Because I'm the one who approved that contract. Nia's eyes widened. Don't worry, Kola said, his tone firm. I'll take care of it. As Tund and Lola disappeared, Nia stood in disbelief. Kola turned to her gently. Can I take you home? She wiped her tears. I don't have a home anymore. Kola's expression softened. Then come with me. Stay at my place as long as you need. She hesitated. What about your wife? Won't she mind you bringing a fat woman home? Kola chuckled. I'm not married. Yet. So you're free. And with that, he led her away. The drive was quiet. Nia stared out the window, her thoughts a whirlwind. Just that morning, she had been a hopeful wife. Now, she was heartbroken and lost. Kola glanced at her. You don't have to keep replaying it, Nia. I know it hurts, but you'll heal. She gave a bitter laugh. Heal? Kola, I gave Tund my everything. I stayed when we had nothing. And now that he's rich, he treats me like trash. Kola sighed. Money changes people. But it says more about him than you. Soon, they pulled up to a luxurious mansion. Nia's jaw dropped. This is your home? Kola nodded. One of them. He helped her out of the car. You're welcome here. Inside, the house was even grander. Gold chandeliers, plush furniture, the air smelled like roses and wealth. You must be hungry, Kola said. Let me get you something. But Nia shook her head. No, let me cook. It'll help me focus. Kola raised a brow. You sure? Yes, she said. It always helps. She entered the sleek kitchen, marveling at the appliances. As she rummaged through the cupboards, something caught her eye, a Chinese weight loss book. Curious, she flipped through it. It had recipes, teas, natural methods. For the first time, she felt hope. Kola walked in. Interested in that? She looked up, startled. It was my mom's, he said. She was heavy once. Followed that book, changed her life. Really? Nia asked. Got a picture? He pulled out his phone. The woman was stunning, graceful, and slim. Wow, Nia whispered. She looks amazing. She worked hard, Kola replied. If you want to try, I'll help. Nia smiled, the first real smile of the day. I'll give it a try. And just like that, her healing began. For the first few days, Nia barely stepped out of her room. The betrayal still clung to her like a shadow. No matter how much she tried to distract herself, the memories kept replaying in her mind. She kept asking, was I really that worthless? Did my weight make me unlovable? Kola gave her space, but always made time for her when she needed comfort. He told her jokes, shared old memories, and little by little, Nia started to feel a tiny light returning, not in body yet, but in spirit. Then one morning, she made a firm decision. She walked into the kitchen, picked up the Chinese weight loss book, and read it thoroughly. It wasn't just about drinking tea or skipping meals. It was a full lifestyle overhaul, natural herbs, balanced eating, gentle movement. Kola walked in and saw her reading. So, you're serious about this? He asked with a gentle smile. Nia nodded. Yes, Kola. But not for Tund. Not for revenge. I want to do this for me. I want to feel confident again. He grinned. That's the spirit. And I've got your back. The first few days were brutal. Nia had to completely shift her habits. The herbal teas tasted strange, and the exercises, though light, exhausted her. She was used to heavy, comforting meals, and now every bite was calculated. One evening, after a long day, she sank into the couch, drained. Kola joined her with 2 glasses of lemon-infused water. Tired? He asked, handing her one. Exhausted, she sighed. I never imagined it would be this hard. Kola chuckled. Everything worth it is hard. But I already see the change. She gave him a skeptical look. You're just trying to cheer me up. No, he said firmly. You have a new light in you. Not just physically, it's inside too. Nia blushed. No one had ever spoken to her like that, not even Tund. She turned away quickly, sipping her water to hide her shy smile. Days turned to weeks. Nia stayed disciplined, following the meal plans, drinking the teas, and doing her exercises. Slowly but surely, she began to change. Her clothes fit looser. Her skin glowed. She felt stronger and lighter, not just in body, but in heart. One evening, Kola invited her to a formal business dinner. As they entered the venue, all eyes turned toward them. Nia wore a flowing black gown that hugged her new figure. Her head was high, confidence beaming from within. You look breathtaking, Kola whispered in her ear. She smiled. Thank you for everything. For the first time in what felt like forever, Nia felt joy. Real, deep joy. Her transformation was nothing short of a miracle. In just a few months, she had not only lost weight, but gained purpose and inner strength. Every morning she rose with energy. She trained, prepared nutritious meals, and stuck to her tea rituals. With Kola always there to motivate her, she grew even more determined. She didn't cry over Tund anymore. She didn't even think of him often. She focused only on becoming her best self. One day, Kola surprised her with tickets to a high-end gallery event. You've worked so hard, he said. You deserve a night to celebrate yourself. Nia hesitated. What if people judge me? Kola smiled. Let them look. They won't be judging, they'll be admiring. Encouraged, Nia wore a stunning red dress that complemented her curves and grace. As she stepped out, Kola's jaw dropped. Wow, he breathed. You're stunning. You think so? She asked shyly. I know so, he replied, offering his arm. The event was buzzing. Influential people, celebrities, business tycoons, everyone was mingling, laughing, networking. Nia walked beside Kola, still nervous, but proud of how far she'd come. Then she saw him. Across the room, Tund stood beside Lola. But he no longer had the air of pride or charm. He looked stressed. Tund scanned the room and froze when his eyes landed on Nia. His brows furrowed, confusion etched on his face. He tapped Lola's arm. "Who's that woman?" Lola glanced and shrugged. "No idea. But she's gorgeous." Tund took a few steps toward her, eyes narrowing. Then it hit him. His lips parted. "Nia," he whispered. Nia tilted her head and gave a soft, knowing smile. "Hello, Tund." He stared at her, stunned. You look different." "I know," she replied coolly. Kola, who had been watching silently, finally stepped forward. "Is there an issue, Tund?" Tund swallowed. I didn't recognize her." "That's because," Nia leaned in slightly, "the woman you threw away no longer exists." Tund stood frozen. His mind reeled. The woman he left in a hotel lobby, crushed and crying, was now standing tall, glowing beside one of the most powerful men in the room. He didn't say a word. He couldn't. Meanwhile, Lola tugged on his sleeve. "Why are you looking at her like that?" Tund snapped back. "It's nothing." But it wasn't nothing. And he knew it. Nia stood poised, graceful, and radiant. She didn't flinch under Tund's gaze. The woman he had ridiculed and discarded was gone. In her place stood a queen, unshakable and full of power. Kola smirked, watching Tund's unease. "You know," he said casually, "Nia's been doing some incredible things lately. She's grown into a phenomenal woman." Tund forced a tight smile. "Yeah, I can see that." His jaw tightened as he looked from Nia to Kola. "So, what's going on between you two?" Kola's smile widened. "She's my fiancé." Tund's eyes widened. "What?" Nia held up her hand, revealing a sparkling diamond ring. "Yes, Tund. Kola and I are engaged." For a moment, Tund's head spun. The woman he had tossed aside was now engaged to one of the wealthiest, most respected men in the country. He had expected her to crumble after he left, but she had risen far beyond anything he could imagine. Lola noticed his expression and laughed dryly. "Oh, please, Tund. Don't tell me you still care about her." Tund quickly masked his emotions. "Of course not," he lied. "I was just surprised, that's all." Nia raised a brow and smiled knowingly. "Well, life is full of surprises." Just then, Kola's assistant walked up holding a file. "Sir, the report you requested." Kola nodded, took the file and flipped through the pages. Then, turning back to Tund, he said, "Speaking of surprises, we need to talk." Tund frowned. "Talk? About what?" Kola's tone shifted. "The contract. I've reviewed the latest reports and I'm not impressed." Tund's heart skipped. What do you mean?" Kola folded his arms. "Your company has failed to meet several important project goals. If you don't finish the work in 1 month, you'll be required to return the full payment." Tund turned pale. "Please, Kola. I just need more time." Kola shrugged. "Business is business. And from now on, you'll report directly to Nia." Tund's mouth went dry. The very woman he had mocked, humiliated, and left behind, was now the one in charge of his fate. Later that evening, Tund sat slumped at his desk, head buried in his hands. His world was falling apart. The multi-million contract he had celebrated was now suffocating him. Worse, Nia, the wife he once called names, was the one overseeing it all. Lola waltzed into the room, chewing gum and acting unbothered. "What's with the long face?" she asked, flopping onto the couch. Tund glared at her. "Do you even understand what's happening, Lola? If I don't finish this project in 1 month, I have to pay everything back." Lola rolled her eyes. "Relax. You've got money. We'll sort it out." Tund slammed his palm on the desk. "Sort what out?" "We've been blowing cash on parties, vacations, designer brands. There's barely enough left to even complete the job." Lola sat up. "So, what are you saying?" "That we're broke." Tund ran his fingers through his hair. Not yet. But if I don't fix this soon, we will be. Lola crossed her arms and stood. Then fix it. I didn't leave my comfort zone to end up with a failure. If you can't handle your business, maybe I should find someone who can. Tund's eyes darkened. Are you serious right now? Lola shrugged. I came with you for the luxury. If that's gone, what's left? The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. She never loved him. She only loved the lifestyle. Just like he had dumped Nia when he rose in wealth, Lola was ready to dump him now that he was falling. Meanwhile, at Cola's firm, Nia sat confidently behind her desk as Tund entered her office. The moment had come, not for revenge, but accountability. She had earned this position. And now it was time to show it. Tund hesitated. Nia, please. I need more time on the project. She raised a brow. More time? The deadline was already generous. What did you even do with the money? He stammered. I miscalculated. I thought. You thought Cola wouldn't notice? She interrupted. You thought you could take the money and disappear? He lowered his gaze. She leaned forward. This is business, Tund. And I won't cover for your mistakes. You have 4 weeks. Deliver or refund everything. Tund left her office, shoulders slumped, heart pounding. He had never imagined he'd be at Nia's mercy. The woman he once insulted was now the one holding his future. He tried everything: calls, desperate pitches to investors, even reaching out to Cola again. But it was too late. No one trusted a man who had misused millions. Then came the final blow. 2 weeks before the deadline, Lola packed her things. I'm not staying to watch you lose everything, she said coldly, tossing her engagement ring on the table. I thought you were a winner, Tund. Turns out you're just another loser. Tund stood in shock as she walked out. The woman he had thrown his marriage away for had now walked out on him. Karma had come around. At the company, Nia reviewed the final project report. As expected, it was a disaster: half-done work, financial gaps, broken promises. She picked up the phone. Cola, it's a mess. We need to start the refund process. Cola, always composed, responded, I expected this. Let's move forward with legal action. The next day, Tund received the official notice. He was being sued for breach of contract and financial mismanagement. His accounts would be frozen. If he didn't repay, his properties would be seized. He rushed to Nia's office, desperation in his eyes. Nia, please. I was foolish. Don't let them take everything from me. She looked at him, calm and composed. When you walked away, Tund, did you think about how I would survive? Did you care that I had nothing? He shook his head, tears brimming. I didn't. But I regret it now. I'm begging you. She sighed deeply. This isn't about revenge, Tund. This is about responsibility. You wasted your opportunity. Now you must face the results. Tund collapsed to his knees, sobbing. But Nia stood firm. The company sued. Within weeks, Tund lost everything: cars, homes, reputation. He went from high-class businessman to a man with nothing. Meanwhile, Nia's life was thriving. She had become not just physically transformed, but emotionally strong and full of purpose. Her relationship with Cola deepened. Soon, they announced their wedding. On her big day, Nia stood before the mirror in her white gown, smiling at her reflection. She once thought losing Tund was the worst thing to happen. But in truth, it was the best. She had found love. She had found herself. And most importantly, she had won. Moral lesson. True worth is not defined by who leaves you, but by how you rise after they do. Loyalty should never be repaid with betrayal, and those who abandon others in their lowest moments often end up alone in their own downfall. Nia's story teaches us that heartbreak can be a beginning, not an end. Through self-love, resilience, and purpose, one can transform pain into power. What breaks you today may just be what leads you to your breakthrough tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, tell us what you think of Nia's journey in the comments.